Echo. So I've said multiple times on this channel that I'm a really big fan of the footage of the found, so VHS Beyond was a pleasant surprise because I kind of forgot about it until a week ago. Not that I wasn't interested, it was just there's so many things coming out, but coming out during spooky season, that's the best damn time to release something like this. Now the VHS franchise, I actually really enjoy it. I've enjoyed basically every entry, and even if I don't enjoy the entry as a whole, there's still segments that I still really like. Like, I enjoy the first VHS, I mean, where it all started. That one was great. I mean, that's probably one of my earliest found footage memories. And then VHS 2 was really good. That one segment in VHS 2, I forget which one it was. I think it was, not even going to try. VHS Viral had a moment that I enjoyed. I know that's probably the weakest of the ones because I know a lot of people don't really care much for VHS Viral, which I guess is sort of the same for me, although, like I said, there's segments that I enjoy. VHS 99 I enjoyed a lot. VHS 94 was great, and VHS 85 was pretty good. So now with VHS Beyond, they have just went all out. It is completely unhinged. It is absolutely wild, and they've touched on a subject that a lot of the VHS films do, and that's extraterrestrial life, or UFOs or aliens or what have you. But there's one segment in this which I'm going to talk about that actually got under my skin. Like, it was one that did kind of freak me out. It was very weird, very uncanny, and yeah, I liked VHS Beyond. I thought it's another solid entry. It's not my favorite. I still think that 94 might be my favorite. I'm not sure. 99, 94, and 85 are all pretty solid entries. Like, I feel like the last three have been really good. Beyond is probably my least favorite out of the 4 recent entries that's come out, but I love how crazy it went. Like, when you think of wild entries in a franchise, where you look at Freddy's Dead, or you look at Jason X, or you look at Leprechaun in Space, or yeah, I'm basically just talking about all the franchises that go to space. That's sort of where this one fits in, but it's better made than all of those, if that makes sense. Like, it's still a pretty solid entry. I think people are really going to enjoy it a lot, and it's just one to have fun with. All of the segments involve aliens except for one. And I just thought I would talk about it because it's a new film that came out and everybody else has already had their videos, but me, I have not. So the first segment I think a lot of people will really enjoy because it's kind of reminiscent of the Evil Dead in a sense. Like, there's just so many crazy things going on. It kind of reminded me of Left 4 Dead personally, but it opens up with a SWAT team and they're going inside this house. When they go inside, there's like these weird mutanoid things where I guess you could say that it does not necessarily involve aliens. I mean, it kind of does, but it's very, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. You're just seeing these body cams, they're going in, and it's just all hell breaks loose. You get to see the POVs of the guns shooting, there's one with the chainsaw, and I felt like it was the perfect opening for the VHS film, and because it gets everybody pulled in, and outside of all of these, they're talking about UFOs, kind of like almost like a documentary or a mockumentary. But I've noticed that a lot of the VHS films do have that SWAT team segment, kind of, which I don't know if that's just a reoccurring theme or if it's just something I'm looking into too much. It's probably something that I'm looking into too much. But then the second one is pretty interesting because it shows an Indian music video being filmed, and you get to see the found footage aspects, but then you get to see the actual music video itself, and the star of the music video might not be, I don't know, I don't want to spoil it, but it went places that I was interested in. Of course, it was just like VHS, it just did something crazy. And then the final segment, which has Alana Pierce, which if you're not familiar with who she is, she actually talks about video games. She works in the video game industry, and that was another really good segment because it actually, which I'm so glad that it ended the way that it did, because it actually ended with, I think, an actual VHS camera, and it was actual VHS quality, where she's in the Mojave Desert and she stumbles upon this aircraft spaceship. She goes inside, and it's more so a calm approach to the segment where it's not really crazy stuff going on. It's very calm, and it's just more so informative, where she goes in and it's very realistic. I mean, I would have to probably give credit with the VHS part, because I mean, when you're watching something on a VHS camera, it looks 10 times more creepier, which is why you see all these creepy videos with the VHS format, which is actually something that they talk about inside the film itself. But she's just in there, and it's just so well executed. I don't want to say anything else, but there was one shot in particular that was just very eerie. You get to see it, and it's in black and white or infrared, which is what the camera switches between. So I'm not exactly sure if it is a real VHS camera or not, but if it is, they did a really good job sort of emulating it, I guess you could say. And then the opening segment with the SWAT team going in, or the police officers or whatever going inside the house, that was another one where it just, with that, it sort of shows how crazy the franchise has gotten overall, which, like I said, this whole entire film is nuts. And just like the music video, it's just nothing but contained chaos, basically. Like, those two segments kind of go hand in hand. It's just nothing but contained chaos. And then the overall segment about the guy that went missing, they sort of touch on that a little bit, but that's just more so the reoccurring story that happens. They didn't really touch on it as much as I thought they would. And then there's another one, which again, it's contained chaos, where they're up in the air skydiving, and then they go down to this orchard kind of, and I enjoyed that one a lot too. It was actually kind of funny, but it was very pretty. Everything was very vibrant, a lot of greens and oranges, you know, where they're just running through the field, or not the field, but you know, this sort of orchard, this little place where oranges grow. I'm assuming it's an orchard. I don't know. I'm not into gardening or anything like that. But the one segment that I wanted to talk about, because it's absolutely nuts. It's literally nuts, and it's so tonally different from the rest of the segments. And it was the one that sort of freaked me out the most. It involves dogs, and it involves a woman that is taking care of these dogs, and these people don't think she is who she actually is, so they go in to, I guess, investigate it. And I don't want to spoil it, because you just have to see it for yourself. I think it's probably the weirdest segment I've ever seen in the VHS franchise. Like, I am literally going to praise it that high. It's probably the creepiest one. There was actually, the one that actually got under my skin the most was from the first one, and it's the honeymoon one. When you actually figure out what's going on, it just puts a weird pit in your stomach, and that's exactly what this one does. Like, it's creepy as shit. Like, there's nothing else to say. It's creepy as shit. And I like the VHS films. I hope we get more. I feel like we've sort of hit the pinnacle of VHS, if you could say that, where usually franchises will go extremely crazy and they get to the point to where there's no return. And I think this is where the VHS franchise has finally hit its mark, although still in a good way, because I would recommend it. It's still really good. I think the move now would probably be to go back to the original sort of creepy factor of it, where it's not just balls to the wall craziness. It's just more so creepy. I think that's the way they could go with it. And I mean, I've been toying with ideas for this for a while. Like, honestly, shit, I do not know what they could do. I mean, there's a few that I've been thinking of. Like, I thought Super 8 might be kind of cool, but then that sort of beats the whole purpose of VHS, so you'd probably have to call it like Super 8 or something, which then if you call it that, then people are not going to watch it. Well, I'm not going to say that. People that are fans of the VHS franchise might, but then when people that see it, they might not know that it's a part of the VHS franchise. So, I mean, I just think that they would probably go back to the original just sort of creepiness of it. I don't really know exactly what I'm trying to say with that. I mean, they could do different things. I'm sure they would figure it out, because I don't see this franchise going anywhere anytime soon. I think it's going to live on for a little bit. It's still well received. People still enjoy it. I still enjoy it, and I hope we get more. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. If you did, check out the link tree down below. You can check out my short films, my filmography. It would mean the world to me. I'm always looking to connect to other content creators and filmmakers. Also, subscribe, leave a like. It'd make me very happy. But anyway, guys, take it easy. Let me know what your favorite VHS film is down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.